How about now, Emilio? Can you hear me? Oh, you're good now. Okay, good. Sorry about that. I wasn't muted. I wasn't. Okay, good. I couldn't hear you before. Yay. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I did monkey with my sound settings before the stream. I didn't think I had done anything that would have caused me to be muted, but you never know, right? Thank you for being here. Thank you for letting me know. I've definitely live streamed muted before, and then finally somebody would tell me, so I appreciate that. And honestly, I'm just happy you're here. I love it when, I love it when anybody shows up, but I also love it when, previous subscribers show up. So I'm happy that you're here spending the day with me. So let's open up GitHub. And then we're also going to just make a list of what do we feel like we want to tell people about our projects. Because the projects that I tend to build are, it's HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I do prefer to write CSS with SCSS or Sass. So let's make sure that we're telling people about either the VS Code extension, Sass Watch, or let's actually just add a Sass Watch command in our README. I think that's a really good idea. Let's explain that we use live server. I think I have one or two projects where I'm using MAMP, but it's not required. Let's explain that we have a setup for Heroku and Heroku deployment, because anybody who comes to this project is going to see index.php. And if we look at this, it's this include for the home.index.html. So let's explain that to people. And maybe we should just go ahead and start making a list. Let's just make a list. Okay, and let's just go ahead and save this as a README. Let's just save this as a README. Put this in our, and we're gonna call this, and READMEs are always done in Markdown. So it's a .md file. And then if you've never written Markdown before, it's just Markdown is very similar. I mean, I don't know. I want to call it similar to HTML in that I guess it's a markup language, but you can use HTML in Markdown. So that's kind of cool. So, but I have a couple of links here. So we've got a basic Markdown guide, but I know there's also Markdown. I don't want basic. I want the other one, the extended syntax. So we're definitely going to go through both of these. These are very handy. I'm going to go ahead and pop these in the chat. So there's basic. Here's extended. And then I think we want Markdown icons. Complete list of GitHub Markdown emoji markup. This is also really, really handy. So we're going to use all of this today. This is super fun, I think. I enjoy doing READMEs. And Emilio is saying that he just started doing a GitHub page. Haven't given it much thought on how to set it up, so this is nice to know. Yeah, I think you're going to enjoy this, Emilio. And here's the thing, there are no rules. So don't worry about, just have the mindset when you're doing a README that explaining what your project is. You're explaining what your project is, and you're having a little bit of fun. There's no rules, just have fun. So, okay, so we want to explain the project, and this is going to be kind of our notes section. So we're going to change all of this. Explain the project. So it's HTML, CSS, SCSS, and JavaScript. We use the VS Code Live Server extension to view project in browser. We use the SAS Watch extension to compile CSS. Whoops. Compile CSS. Let's include a SAS Watch command. Let's describe the project. Let's do this. Let's describe the project. Built from a Photoshop mockup. We can do a link to it's Envato theme forest. Link to the Envato theme forest page where purchased. Let's think of the license. So I read the license on Envato that said I cannot redistribute the mockup. I can't redistribute the Photoshop files, but I can build the mockup and make that freely available and for distribution on GitHub. That's how I read the license. So let's sort of talk about. Let's think of the license. And I don't want this to get too complicated, but let's describe how this project can be used as open source. And I think we can get a little help from ChatGPT on some of the wording. And the key here is I want to keep that simple. I really want to keep that simple. Okay, so let's start with this. So let's review basic syntax for Markdown. So we have a little table here that basically uses hashes for H1, H2, H3. We can build tables. We can use emojis. Yeah, let's just get started. Okay, so I'm going to start down here, and we'll delete these things as we're building. One moment here. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to do a single hash and just name the project, and this is the ocean. Static HTML blog website. Exactly what it is. So that's our H1. And then I think in VS Code, let me switch over here to here. In VS Code, I don't know if this is a special extension I have or if this is part of VS Code. Check to see if you have something in your upper corner here that is a preview for README files. So this will give you a basic idea of how it looks. It's very general though. It could look a little different on GitHub, but that's okay. We're gonna do both. We're gonna do both. So let's just write a little paragraph. This is a static blog website built from a Photoshop mockup purchased on Envato theme forest. And let's go grab that link. I have it here. Hang on, I might have. I think I have it actually right here. So here are my notes. So here's the notes for this particular. Oh, are you gonna let me? There we go. So this is the link right here. And this is still available. Yeah, it's only $5. It's old. It's really old. Last update, April 20th, 2016. So this is now 9 years old. So yeah, it's been a while since I bought this, but let's see here. That is so simple and awesome. I was literally Googling how to view it. Oh, good. So you confirmed for me then, Emilio, that you have a preview. But we can also, we can push this to our GitHub repository and we'll be able to see those changes right away. So now let's make a link in our Markdown. So here's the link to here's a link to where this can be purchased if somebody actually wants to go buy this. And I think, I don't remember how to do links. Basic syntax. Paragraphs, line breaks, bold, italic, lists. Come on, links. Where are you, links? There we go. So my favorites, so we put it in, so the link text is in brackets immediately followed by the link in parentheses. So this would be in brackets, and then afterwards, so now you can see here, and it's just called the ocean or ocean. And we'll do this, called ocean. This is a static blog website built from a, okay, so now let's do another heading and we'll say how to run. And we'll put this in a code block. So in your upper keyboard, we'll do backticks. So you do 3 backticks, space, and then 3 backticks, and that's how you build a code block in Markdown. And then after the backticks, you can specify the language. So if you want to put in code blocks specific to HTML or CSS, and here we can do a little demonstration here. So let's say we want to do an H1 with a class of heading, and There's a closing, and we'll say this is the heading. Without specifying it, it just looks like a basic code block, and that is completely fine. But we can also, after the initial set of backticks, you can put in HTML, and now you have some syntax highlighting. And it looks a little different in the preview, but you can see here that that sort of delineates. So let's do another one. And we'll do some CSS. And let's say that we're going to do heading, color. And so you can see here, now we have some syntax highlighting for our code blocks. So I don't know, I think it's a nice little touch. We don't need to do this right here. Let's see here. How to run. So we could say something like, let's go back to our repository. So we could do something like, so I'm going to copy the SSH, and I'm going to say git clone, and what would this be, bash? That gives us a little syntax highlighting. So how to run, git clone, and then this is the URL to clone the repository. And then we could say, since this is a static website, if you're using VS Code, I recommend using the live server extension to run and view the site in the browser of your choice. And then let's see if we can find a link to live server. So VS Code live server. I'm sure they have a page. Here we go. So we'll go ahead and do a link to this. We'll put some brackets. There we go. Let's do another heading under how to run. So here, this would be like the equivalent of an H3. And we'll call this git clone. And then let's do another H3. And we'll call this Sasquatch. And I think I have... Do I even have a Sasquatch here? I don't think I do. But I know I've got it in another repository, so let's go find that. I think I have Sasquatch in... To think here for a second. Yes, right here. Because I can never remember it. And technically this is on the terminal, so it's a bash. And this basically says, look in the folder SCSS for a styles.scss, compile that into the root of the project as styles.css. And then it also has this flag style compressed. And then we'll put here, or you can use the VS Code extension, I think it's just called Watch Sass. So let's find the link to that. VS Code Watch Sass. Live Sass compiler. I don't think this is the one that I use. Let's see here. Oh, it is Live Sass compiler. It doesn't say, it says Watch Sass. It doesn't say Watch My Sass. Oh, see, this is Glenn Marks. This is a different person. I think this is a different person. Or this could just be old. I don't know. I just want to make sure I do the right one. This is the one right here. Yeah. Okay, this is the one I'm going to use. So this is actually called Live Sass compiler. Did I spell that right? C-O-M-P-I-L-E-R. Yes. Okay. Yes, you can get very specific. Very specific. Are you talking about the links to the extensions, Emilio? Yeah. I mean, you can be as specific as you want to be with this. So, so we have how to run git clone sass watch. Okay, this is looking a little boring. So first of all, we can take that off the list. We can take this off the list. So let's add some emojis. Let's add some emojis. Yeah, the links and adding coding in and then specifying what kind it is. Yeah, the whole point of a README is to help the user. If you know, the whole point of this, right, is to build an open source project and to make this accessible to other people, and honestly just give back to a community that I think is really, really generous. So I want to, you know, make sure that I'm explaining the project well and letting them know, like, what is it about? Why is it something that you might want to download and use? And the more information you can give people, the better, I think. I don't know, and you can have a little fun. So we have all these emojis here. So the ocean, let's look for something water related. Water. Let's see here. Watermelon. Okay. Ocean. Perfect. So all we have to do here, there is literally an emoji called ocean. So we'll go ahead and stick that right there. And look at that. Now we have a nice little emoji next to our header. And then for how to run, what do we want to do? Like a bullseye or runner, running shirt with sash. How about bullseye? Target. See, the problem is I know what emojis I want to use. I don't know what they're called. They've got different names. We could do a push pin, a flag. Here are symbols. We have animals. Let's do a zap. How to run. There we go. No, stop, remove. Okay, so we don't really have any brand specific icons. That's fine. So we have a check mark. And then we could do another check mark here. All right. So we've got how to run, git clone, SAS watch. What else do we want to tell people? So let's do something. We should probably do a separate heading for live server. There. So we've got git clone, live server, SAS watch. So Emilio says, I finally got accepted back into university. I'm going to resume as a junior in a computer programming course with focus on web development. Congratulations, Emilio. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. I mean, I have a degree in software engineering, and it was very challenging, but it was also really, really rewarding, and I learned a lot, and I think it really helped me become a better developer. So I think that that's great. I'm very happy for you, and I hope that you come back and give me updates on how things are going. And if you have questions about something, let me know. Let me know. I'm happy to answer questions. By the way, if you're here right now watching this, go ahead and give me a like. I don't ask that often enough. I don't ask people to subscribe or like the video, and I'm learning that I have to actually ask people to do that. So if you enjoy this content, please like, please subscribe. Helps push the video out and Helps me grow my little audience here on YouTube, and I appreciate it. So thank you. Okay, so I think for a static HTML website, this is just fine what we have here. How to run git clone live server SaaS watch. We've explained what this is. We've provided a link if people want to go look at it themselves. Let's do something quickly about the license. So we'll do an H2 and we'll just say license. And let's actually go back and review. So here are the license details. Oh, thank you, Emilio. I appreciate that. Okay, so the majority of our items, themes, code, graphics, 3D, and Flash, are covered by our standard license. If your end product, which is what this is, including the item, is going to be free to the end user, then a regular license is what you need. An extended license is required if the end user must pay to use the end product. So number of end products, 1, that's what we're doing here. Use in a single end product, yes. Use in a free end product, yes. Use in an end product that's sold, no. On-demand products or services, no. 1 license per each customized end product, so no. Used in stock items or templates, no. This isn't a stock item or template, it's just a free end product. So that's how I'm classifying this. I'm not selling it, I'm building it. I'm not providing the actual Photoshop mock-ups. I'm just providing the end product for free as an open source project. Let's ask ChatGPT for a little help on how to word a license. Okay, so I'm building a static HTML, CSS, JavaScript, blog, website as an open source free product available on GitHub. The Photoshop mockup was purchased from ThemeForest. Their license states that I can give the end product away for free. Please help me with some language about how to license the open source project. We'll see what they say here. So here's some language you can use to clarify the licensing of your open source blog project while respecting ThemeForest licensing terms. License. The project is released as an open source, free-to-use static website template under the MIT license. You are welcome to use, modify, and distribute the code for personal or commercial projects with or without attribution. Please note the visual design of this template was adapted from a commercial Photoshop mockup purchased from ThemeForest. That asset was used in accordance with the ThemeForest regular license, which permits distribution of a finished end product for free, but does not allow redistribution of the original PSD or source design files. The code in this repository is 100% original and written by me, and I have proof of that because I recorded the entire process. No ThemeForest source files are included with this repository. This project may not be resold, re-uploaded, or redistributed as a theme or template on other marketplaces. If you fork this project, please ensure your use remains in compliance with ThemeForest license. Would you like a license.md and readme.md snippet to drop in directly? Yeah. Yes. Thank you. I also want to know more about an MIT license. Please also explain why MIT license. Oh, Angela, you can't spell LICENCE. Why the MIT license? The MIT license is one of the most permissive and widely used open source licenses. It allows free use, including commercial use, modification and redistribution, minimal obligations, just include the original license and copyright. This makes it ideal for front-end templates or static projects where the goal is to help others build freely, which that is my number one goal, especially when you're not trying to control or monetize the code base yourself. I'm not. Cool. Okay, so we'll also add a license.md file. And then here is our README snippet. I love this. Right? ChatGPT is excellent if you need help with this type of thing, if you need help. Like, it's just a really good strategy partner. It is so great for stuff like this. So, okay, so let's create an additional, I'll copy this. Let's create another and license.md. Whoops. Angela. Oh, 1 second. One. Okay. And it is the year 2025. And let's just give this a heading. Is there like a copyright emoji? I love the emojis. Here it is, right here. Copyright. There we go. All right. Okay, and then let's grab nice. Look at that. How did you know it was an H2? ChatGPT. Here we go. License. This project is released under the MIT license. You may use, modify, and distribute the code. The visual layout was based on a commercial Photoshop mockup purchased from ThemeForest, which we've already linked to above. Did it have a link? That asset was used in accordance with the Theme Forest regular license. I feel like the language is different. Okay. The language in the copy paste version is different from the original language you showed me. You're absolutely right. Thank you for catching that. Okay, I like the first version. Well, let's copy this and see how it goes. Okay. This project is released as an open source, free to use static website template under the MIT license. You are welcome to use, modify, and distribute the code for personal or commercial projects with or without attribution. Design attribution. The visual design of this template was adapted from a commercial Photoshop mockup purchased from ThemeForest. That asset was used in accordance with the ThemeForest regular license, which permits distribution of a finished end product for free, but does not allow redistribution of the original PSD or design source files. The code in this repository is 100% original and written by me. No ThemeForest source files are included in the repository. This project may not be resold, re-uploaded, or redistributed as a template or theme on marketplaces. If you fork this project, please make sure your use complies with the terms of the ThemeForest license. I love it. Let's see here. So this is one word, not two words. Got it. Okay, I love it. Let's see here. Do we need any more emojis? License. Let's find some sort of emoji for the license. We love emojis. Ooh, how about red circle? Like, read this. Or we can just browse for a second. Or we could do like a yield sign. Yield. Did I spell yield right? Y-I-E-L-D. Let's do here, warning. I mean, is a license a warning though? Is that the message that I want to send? Here, let's do a round push pin. Like, pin this idea. There we go. I love it. Little color, little sass, little razzmatazz. Okay, what else do we want to include? I think we should also look at some, well, let's go ahead and actually push this to our Git repository and see how the README looks on GitHub, because I guarantee you it always looks a little different. It always looks a little different than the live preview. And then I think Well, let's look at a couple other GitHub repositories and see if there's anything like kind of fun and fancy that we can add. And then I'm really thinking that we should create a separate repository just for the license and the README and use that as a template for all future projects moving forward. And then that in and of itself can be an open source project, right? The README and the license. And then I have a source to go to every single time I start a new project that I can basically copy and paste and sort of fill in the blanks for what the project is. And that was the whole point of this exercise. So we'll do git commit. Creating a README and a license for this project. I love it. Then this week I can work on updating the README and the license for all of my projects, which is exactly what I wanted to do. Love it. So now we can go and here's the blog. And here's our README. And it includes the MIT license. It automatically links that. So professional. Gosh, so professional. Look at that. So what else do we want to add here? I don't know. Do we need to add anything else? Let's add a link to the Heroku site. Okay, let's make a new list of things. Now we need to make a new list. So link to the Heroku demo site. How about a link to my YouTube channel, since I stream all of these builds. A link to my YouTube channel, a link to the YouTube playlist, because I do put everything in a playlist. But I think we can also update some of this GitHub stuff here at the same time. So let's do that. So this is blog website. So here's our GitHub link, or excuse me, our Heroku link. So if we go to our GitHub about, I'll make this a little bigger. We can go to our about, and this is the Ocean static HTML, SCSS, JavaScript website. Here's a URL. And then I think we can do some hashtags. We'll just do HTML. Oh, this was a good one. HTML, CSS, JavaScript. Let's do SCSS. Let's do JavaScript. I don't know. It's Heroku. Heroku deployment. Yeah, we'll just do Heroku. HTML, SCSS, JavaScript. So include in the home page, release packages. I don't think we need to do releases or packages. We'll just do deployments. So now this sort of gives our repository some common tags. We also have an easy link to the site. And then GitHub already adds sort of the stuff. Well, no, we check deployments. And then it's already looking to see what the languages are. I'm not sure we really have any JavaScript for this yet, so it probably isn't saying anything yet. And then I'm going to dismiss those suggestions. Zoom back out a little bit here. Yeah, this is looking really good, actually. I love it. I love it. Okay, let's add some more information now about my YouTube channel, because the whole point of this is to drive traffic to my YouTube channel, grow my audience. Like, I have to stop being shy about that. I do feel like I've been really shy about that in the past, and I'm going to stop being shy about that. The whole point of this is to grow this channel. So let's go right before license. I think license can be the last thing. So we'll say, we're just going to say YouTube. Find this project on my YouTube. On my YouTube channel. And see the playlist for the entire project. I think this needs a little help with wording, but that's okay. So this is the playlist. I'm gonna go to the full, hang on though, what just happened? I want to go to just the playlist, view full playlist right here. Okay, find this project on my YouTube channel. Okay, let's ask ChatGPT to help with a little wording. Next, I need help with some wording on how to drive traffic to my YouTube channel. There's also a playlist for this project. Here's what I have, but what do you suggest? Watch the build in action on my YouTube channel or check out the project playlist to follow the full step-by-step process. For Debs who like context, want to see how this project was built from scratch, head over to my YouTube channel. And oh, so they are giving me options on how to word this. Love it. CTA driven. Watch the full project come to life on my YouTube channel. Start with the playlist here and build along with me. Pick the one that feels closest to your voice and vibe, or I can help you tailor it even more. Want me to match the tone of your README intro exactly? I kind of like this version right here. Watch the build in action on my YouTube channel or check out the project playlist to follow the full step-by-step process. Head over to my... I kind of like this. I like the first version. Can you give me a copy paste version. I think I have to go find that emoji. Movie camera. I think I'm actually going to put the movie camera next to the title. Yeah, I like it. I'm actually kind of thinking I should put YouTube first before the how to run. And I am going to put that there. And I'm going to put the, where's the red dot? The red circle. Too bad they don't have branded emojis. Yeah, I agree, Emilio. Get it up there right away. I love it. And then let's do a link to Heroku. We could do another circle, just another, or we could do a link. That is very apt. So let's do another. So there's link. See the site on Heroku. And that is right here. Okay, let's push this up and see how it looks. This might be enough. This feels pretty good to me. Refining the README. Nice. I love it. I think I'm gonna ask ChatGPT to help me write a little better intro. Yeah, let's ask for a little better intro. Can you also help me with a slightly punchier intro, but please keep in mind my tone and that I do not like marketing language. I really don't. It is my number one complaint about ChatGPT is that it always sounds like really heavy marketing language. Does not match my tone at all. This is a simple, clean blog site built with HTML, CSS, and vanilla JavaScript. It's based on a Photoshop mockup called Ocean Personal Blog Template for Travelers and Dreamers, with a link, purchased from Envato Theme Forests. The goal of this project is to turn a static design into accessible modern code and make it easy for anyone to customize or learn from. Beautiful. Let me know if you'd like to add a quick sentence about what's included: responsive layout, accessibility, blog post structure, or something like this project is part of a free open source series focused on helping newer developers practice HTML, CSS with real world examples. I love that line. I love that line. Yes. Please add. And then I think I wanted also to add, so let's say, please include that it's mobile responsive, and that it has a masonry layout, which I'm very proud of, and I am. Okay, this is a simple, clean blog site built with HTML, CSS, and vanilla JavaScript. It's based on a Photoshop mockup called Ocean, blah, 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 purchased from Envato Theme Forest. The goal of this project is to turn a static design into accessible modern code and make it easy for anyone to customize or learn from. It's mobile responsive and includes a custom CSS masonry layout for the blog archive, which I'm especially proud of. This project is part of a free open source series focused on helping newer developers practice HTML, CSS with real world examples. I love it. Yeah, I love it. I think this is great. Yeah, don't be afraid to use ChatGPT to help with some of this stuff. And if you're like me and you don't like language that is really heavy with marketing, which just drives me crazy, it doesn't match my tone at all. I want to sound professional and credible and knowledgeable. I do not like sounding like a marketer because I'm not a marketer. I mean, that's actually something I really struggle with. And my own personal philosophy is that just by showing up and being credible, that will attract the audience. Hang on, I'm trying to change my view here. My personal philosophy is that just by showing up and demonstrating that I can do the work, that is how I build credibility. I don't want to rely on a lot of fluffy marketing language that just sounds like bullshit to me. So let's go ahead and push this up. And I think this is pretty darn good, but let's just peruse a couple of really random GitHub repositories, because I know other people do things that are like slightly flashier, right? Like they have icons and lots of things, and like let's look and see if there's anything like that we want to add, or just get some other ideas from other people, other repositories. Adding a better intro. So glad I'm doing this. This is one of these things that has just been on my mind for a while. There we go. Look at that. You guys, it's like we're professionals. Look at that. I love it. Makes us look like real grown-ups. I think there should be a space after this. Okay, let's go to the homepage of GitHub and just look at a couple trending repositories, I guess. Could be anything, right? Could be anything. Yeah, this. I wanted to do this. I know what these are. And at one point I knew how to add these. Okay, so quick start, that's a heading that they use. So maybe instead of how to run, we could do quick start with a little rocket ship. Features, architecture, development. The license. Ooh, what's that little emoji? What is that, like a scroll? That's what it is. Let's do a scroll instead of a push pin. And then let's do, instead of how to run, we can do quick start. And then I think it's just a rocket. Yep. Love that. Okay. Let's ask ChatGPT, because I don't remember how to add those icons. Well, let's also... I mean, we don't need to do all of this. And obviously I just clicked on a completely random repository that has nothing to do with what I actually built, but I was hoping to find something. I know that other projects use these types of icons, and I wanted to also add them. And at one point I knew how to do that, but I don't remember. It's been a couple of years. So I'm just going to take a quick screenshot. Okay. And then I'm going to ask ChatGPT. I have a screenshot of some icons from another GitHub repo. What are these and how do I add them to my README? Those are badges commonly used in GitHub READMEs to display useful metadata like the license, language, version, or external links. They're often created using shields.io, which sounds familiar to me, which lets you generate custom badge URLs in Markdown or HTML. Here's how to add similar badges to your README. Example for your blog project. So there's an HTML, a CSS, a JavaScript, an MIT license, and a watch the build. Output preview. Okay, it's not really. Let's just add this and see what happens. I don't know if this is going to show up here. So would this go at the after the H1? Oh, look at that. I'm actually using SCSS. Is there an icon for that? Yeah, the previews don't really work, but that's okay. The blog theme is ocean and has blue and teal colors. Can they be customized? Absolutely. Yes, please. I love it. Beautiful. So let's go ahead and push this and we'll see how it looks. And I think on GitHub they'll be aligned. We'll see. If we need to figure out a way to do that, we can. They should be in line. So adding some shields.io badges. I love it. So cute. I think this is it. Which is the one you were looking at that you used to know? I'm so sorry, Emilio. I don't know when you asked me this question. Um, you might have asked me this question a little while ago. I'm not 100% sure what your question is referring to. Um, but I love this. I absolutely love this. I think it looks perfect. So let's make a whole new repository now that is kind of like a template for all future projects and READMEs. Let's see here. So I'm gonna close this back up. Close this. Okay. So let's make a whole new project. Here's a bunch of my projects. And we're just going to call this README. And README.md. And we're going to do I'm just going to copy and paste the first one right in. All right, and I'm going to close this and we'll work on the other one. And then we'll say git init, git add, git commit, initial commit. Now let's go over to GitHub. And go to repositories, new. Okay. Oh, I shouldn't have added this license. Yeah, I shouldn't have added the license. the life of a front-end developer. All right, let's try that again. There's probably an easier way to do this, but all right, this is what I wanted. So we've already done our first commit. So now we're going to rename the main branch. Then we're going to add the origin. And then push. There we go. Perfect. So now we just need to reword this as a template README license repository. So let's ask ChatGPT for a little bit of help. So, okay, so this is great. Thanks. I'm taking this README and creating a new GitHub repo as a template for all future READMEs and as a project itself. Can you please take the Ocean README and make it fill in the blank? And now let's just copy and paste it in. Love this idea. A clean template with fill in the blanks and helpful placeholder comments. It's written to stay in your voice while being reusable for future projects. I need the whole thing in Markdown to copy and paste, please. Okay. No, it's not all copy. Copy paste. Can we switch to the code editor. There we go. Well, let's copy it and see what happens. Why is it trying to escape so many things? I don't know. I mean, ChatGPT definitely struggles sometimes. I don't know what this is for. I'm going to take that out. And everything that I'm doing is from Envato Theme Forest, so that's totally appropriate. Live demo, yep. Perfect. So let's go ahead and push this, and then we have a brand new project that we added. Let's see here. Close this one. Okay. Making the README a template. Look at that. I love it. Oh, we are missing our icons though. So let's go find those. Here we go. let's take out these hex codes. Oops. Oh, they did print. All right. It took them a while to process. That's weird. Oh, so it does have some generic colors in there. That's cool. Let's just grab the originals. And then let's find the one for SAS. There we go. HTML, CSS, SCSS, JavaScript. And then let's take out this. We'll just put in some brackets. Playlist goes here. I love it. Okay. Let's do one more commit. Yay, I love it. So now we have a README template. And if other people want to come and fork this and use this for their own projects, they definitely can. I'm not going to deploy this. We can put in let's put in a little about. This is a template for README.md and license.md projects. So let's do, I guess, Markdown, README template, license, I don't know, MIT license. There we go. This is a template for README and license MD projects. Love it. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. Maybe we should put in should we do let's do a links page with links to the Markdown syntax, the icons. Yeah, let's do that. Let's just do like a helpful links. Or maybe we could just add it. See the live site. Let's just do some helpful links. Let's look for an emoji. I don't know. I want something pretty, like a flower, a sunflower. Yeah. Helpful links. And we'll say basic markdown. Basic markdown basic syntax. Markdown basic syntax. And then this would be markdown extended syntax. Whoops. And then this would be complete list of GitHub Markdown emoji markup. I love it. All right, let's do one more push and then I think we're done. And I have a message from Nalesh Hazra. Hi, Angela. It's lovely to see that you are being so kind to ChatGPT, saying thank you and please. You know, I really appreciate that. Here's the thing. When the machines take over the world, I think that they're going to remember the ones who were polite. Now, if you've watched any of my streams, you know that I have definitely had many frustrating moments with ChatGPT, and I am not afraid to let ChatGPT know how I'm feeling when I don't think that I'm getting the information I should be. That doesn't mean that we can't still be polite when it's doing its job really well. And I think it did really well today. It really did serve us well today. So it helped us with some great language. I will say this about ChatGPT. You kind of get what you give. So the more explicit you can be with what your expectations are, generally the better result you will get. Not always. I actually find ChatGPT's help with CSS to be incredibly frustrating, but I also think that that's one area that I excel at. So I don't want a lot of help. And sometimes it's like garbage in, garbage out. ChatGPT only knows what exists on the internet, and I feel like sometimes it's just regurgitating what it's going through the internet and scraping for me. So in very rare cases, I do get good results from ChatGPT with CSS, but I don't ask for a lot of help with CSS. But if you've watched any of my earlier masonry videos, you can see that I have been very frustrated. I find ChatGPT to be most helpful with number one, JavaScript, because that is my weakest skill. Number two, it's very helpful as like a strategic partner. Like this type of thing, doing a README, this to me is all about strategy, because a README file is about marketing your project. but I don't like marketing language. I want whatever is being written here to match the tone of me, not fluffy bullshit marketing language, because that's just not me and I don't like that. So what I've learned is that if I tell that to ChatGPT, it knows what my tone is because of the questions that I'm asking and the conversations that I have with it. And it will try to learn your tone and try to learn what you like, but you have to tell it to do that. If you don't tell it to do that, it's going to regurgitate a lot of language that in my opinion just isn't authentic. So, and I don't like not sounding authentic. Emilio is heading out for the day. Have fun. Learn lots. Great stream. We'll catch up soon. Emilio, thank you so much for joining. I so appreciate you. Have a great day. And yeah, I look forward to talking to you soon. And congratulations on getting back into university. Very happy for you. Very happy to hear that. And Nilesh is saying, agreed. Absolutely. Whenever there is room for kindness, we should use it. This is my first time here in your channel. I randomly bumped into the stream, loving it already. It is really informative. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I started streaming last year in August, and the whole point of this channel is to just get back to basics. It's HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I've done a few projects with just vanilla CSS, but I really prefer to write Sass because I just think it's so easy, and I like how I can organize I like how I can organize my partials and my style sheets. I'm open to libraries, but I avoid frameworks, specifically JavaScript frameworks. I know Vue and Angular. I've never used React. I've never used Bootstrap. I have used many projects that use parts of Foundation. I'm really kind of like I like the basics as front-end development. I think that if you don't understand basic foundational concepts like display or position or understanding even just Flexbox or Grid, I tend to use Flexbox more, then I don't think there's any point in going out and learning a bunch of frameworks. So that's the whole point of this. I'm not saying that those things are bad or that you shouldn't do them. And certainly I work on many projects where those things are part of the projects. I just want front-end developers to get back to basics, because once you understand core foundational concepts, I actually find it pretty easy to switch between libraries and frameworks. Like, the learning curve is very low when you understand the basics. So that's the whole point of this. And it's for me to practice. It's for me to get better. I've been doing this for 11 years. I love being a front-end developer. I think it's the coolest job in development. I know not everybody agrees with that, but I think it's great. I love it. And I like being really, really good at it. And I like sharing my knowledge. And I like hearing what other people think. I like hearing what other people are doing. I've had so many people come into the stream over the last almost year now and like teach me things, point things out to me, say, hey, have you heard of this? Why aren't you using this? Have you considered using this? So I learned so much from you guys. And I hope your takeaway is, oh, it doesn't matter how long you've been doing this, you still need to practice. You need to keep your skills fresh. And practicing is a good thing. So that's a lot of words. But Nilesh, thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your comments and your kind words. I really appreciate it. And I think this was a super fun project. I have a template now that I can use to build READMEs for all of my projects, because we've done a lot of projects on this channel over the last almost year. It'll be a year in August. And I want to start filling, I want to start completing those. Those repos feel very incomplete to me without a README. So, all right. I think this is it for today. Thank you to everybody who joined me. I appreciate you all. Happy Mother's Day if you're a mother and you're watching this. Have a great day wherever you are. And I will see you next weekend in the next stream. Bye bye.